Hello, didn't make a video yesterday because I didn't have the motivation to do it. Today I still don't really have the motivation, but I have to make food anyway. And so I figured I'd make food and talk about my life. The water's about to boil. It's probably going to be really loud, which is frustrating. But that's why I'm speaking softly, so that I can at least try to keep up with the louder sounds that I'll be making here. And hopefully the sound doesn't turn out too shit. So the first thing to do is to cut our carrot. It's not easy to cut when you're sitting down like this. It's also a massive, really thick carrot. And I'm just doing it as calmly. Oh fuck, I need a cough. As calmly as I can, so that I don't make loud noises, because it's like 5 o'clock in the morning. Okay. Hold on. Okay, there we go. It's very typical that you need to cough and whatever else when you've started recording. This one's a little bit too thick. Yeah. Well, fuck it. It's okay to have thick carrot slices. I don't normally make my food down here in my room. But I'm not. Ow, boiling water falling on my hand. God damn it. Fuck. But I'm not allowed to use the kitchen after 10 p.m. or before 6 a.m. So it's too late and too early. Also adding some salt. And normally while this is cooking, I would be washing up my plate, getting that ready, and so on, but there isn't that much to do in terms of those things because I don't have anything to wash up with here, so this is a slightly accelerated process. I've also prepared some whole grain pasta. Which is probably quite loud, but I hope compression takes care of that. Sort of an experimental video. And then we leave that for a little while. Bit of my fork. So what's going on in my life? Well, I can feel depression creeping up again, which is bad. And, trying to keep it at bay. Tomorrow, well now it's like Thursday morning, so on Friday morning I'll be taking an IQ test as part of my testing for autism. We weren't going to do an IQ test initially, at least that's what you told me, but I independently mentioned as part of another conversation with my psychologist that I thought I would do really badly on an IQ test. And it turns out that she disagrees, but I don't know, man. maybe I just have a wrong impression of what an IQ test is, but I feel like I'm not that kind of smart. I feel like I'm just me and I can do what I do and that's it. But yeah, so I'm interested to find out what's gonna happen with that. I've got some vegetables prepared, so now we have carrot in there. This is Brussels sprouts, peas and broccoli, making it 4 different vegetable types so far. Whoops. Just trying to get out the bits. I'm so fucking clumsy. But hey, it's difficult. When the steam gets on the plastic, it becomes slippery. And at this point, this is going to take quite a while to boil up again. So it's going to be nice and quiet. So we can put the lid on, and it's probably going to take a good 10 to 15 minutes. Maybe 10, we'll say 10, because I don't have that long to record. So yeah, when I do the IQ test on Friday, I won't find out the results before a few weeks after, because that'll be my next appointment. I've now been going to the psychologist for a couple of months. Yeah. Well, I mean, I went first of all back in December, but she wasn't there then, so I met with someone else, and then I saw her for the first time, I think late January, maybe early February, I can't remember. So it's just been a few months of testing, basically. Lots of questions, lots of talking, and the next phase is the IQ test, but also we're going to a different place after tomorrow. The next time would be a different place, and I don't know where, but it's in a neighbouring town, and we're going to talk to a bunch of other people and do a lot of testing. She has also already spoken to my sister about how I was in my childhood and so on. And yeah, it's obviously not that easy to answer this, because I imagine if it was very obvious one way or the other, they would kind of just go, nah, doesn't seem like it, or it seems like it, maybe. But with me, it seems to be not easy to tell, I guess. I don't know. So I may or may not have autism, and we still don't know. Other than that, as you know, I'm making a game with a team of people currently, and that's going pretty well, which is really nice. The initial concepts for the game we're currently making were drafted back in April 2015, I believe. No, 2016. April 2016. So it has been almost 2 years since we started the project, and since January of this year we've had a programmer cracking on and putting everything together. We've had design documents, we've had art, but we didn't have the right programmer. We've been through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different programmers, have tested for it. 3 of them we've tried, 2 of them were dismissed. And so we're on number 6 currently. But he's been incredibly cool and really, really disciplined, really good at what he does. Is very open to communication, meetings. It's a lot of back and forth. He's really good at to work with, so that's been going really well. And since we got him on board, things have been going super fast, and it basically went from literally nothing, not even a game engine, just a framework, to being able to run around and screen. We have a random dungeon generator. You can attack enemies, you can do special moves, There's overlays for the floor that you're on to give it different special cracks and nice textures. We have a shadow, a very newly added shadow along the borders of the wall, like on the floor texture as an overlay, so that it, the divide between the wall and the floor texture isn't so sharp, and it looks really nice and it fades in, and we have this effect over, like this filter, which kind of adds darkness to the whole screen. And so we can have, I think tomorrow he's going to start implementing different lighting sources. So we'll have torches on the walls and so on, so you can, like, it'll look really nice. I don't know, it's just going pretty well. And I'm looking forward to seeing how it progresses. I'll try not to scrape the metal too much. I just need to move it around a little bit. I think it's a little too solid. Let's see if we can find... God damn it. Pasta is always so difficult to get. I have so many goddamn vegetables in the way. Okay, here we go. Did I mention? Yeah. Not done. Needs another 4 minutes or so. Hold on. Yeah. Gonna give it another 4. Excuse me for a second. I just have to check how long the phone has been recording, and it's been recording for about 13 minutes. So we've got about 10 minutes left of recording to go, which is good. That's enough for the video. To carry on talking about the game development, it has been my dream to do game development as a job for the last 7 years or so, 7-8 years. And basically for the last 8 years I've tried to make games. I've worked on different projects, started, and I never really stopped for any projects. Teams maybe broke apart. That happened I think once. That was for the first project. Ultimately though, generally speaking, the problem has been budget. Not having money to develop games. Right now, pretty much every spare penny that I have goes into game development, and I have spent thousands of dollars, I think. Let me work it out. Yeah, on this project I think I've, depends on how you count it a little bit, but it's about $2,000, I think. $750 on a computer for the artist, as well as his tablet for another 100 probably. And I pay him hourly to do the art. He's in Poland though, so he doesn't require that much. $300 for the animation program software license. And then other little costs here and there, basically. And it's a fun project to work on and be a part of, but it is difficult to pay for everything when you have so little money. So that's frustrating. Luckily the programmer is okay with completing the prototype without any pay, and then if it goes well after that and we get funding through whatever source, then he'll get paid. If he didn't accept those terms, then we'd be fucked. You know, without someone who can do the programming for free, at least for a prototype, to generate interest, we wouldn't be able to do it. Because the Norwegian government, although they would normally give a business funding prior to having a project, or like a product rather, in our case they said we have to create a prototype, generate interest before they're willing to give us any money. Which is annoying. But I guess they don't want to put so much money into games because game projects are inherently just creative projects. They're not, I don't know, maybe they just don't understand them, but they might look at art projects as a little bit less reliable in terms of money earners, because that's ultimately what they're there for. It's called Innovation Norway, and they give money to businesses and startups to hopefully eventually create more jobs and so on. And obviously if you're making video games, that's a little bit more difficult than it usually would be. So they want us to do the first part, basically, and cover the costs of that. And then if we get enough interest, they might help us the rest of the way. That's where you guys come in, by the way. You gotta test the game and basically say, yeah, this is cool, I want this. So that would be really nice. The pasta is pretty much done. So I'm gonna drain this and then make I'm gonna mix in all my condiments and so on. So I'll be back in a second. Welcome back. The water has been drained. So we got some pasta sauce, tomato sauce. This just consists of vegetables. There's got no preservatives, colors, or any bullshit. It's just pure vegetables mixed together. Mostly tomato, but also some garlic and so on. Hold on. I don't want this to be too loud. I'm just gonna mix it around a bit, so that the bottom doesn't burn, because the plate is still kind of hot. Okay. Lots of pepper. Yes. I love pepper. We also got some garlic salt. This is not integral to the dish, but I had this lying around, so I'm just using it up. Sriracha sauce, or whatever. I don't know if it's, I guess it's a sauce. And also, because I have it lying around, not integral to this, is sriracha mayonnaise. Done a mix. I don't want to do it too close because it's got metal scraping and that's just not comfortable to listen to. plastic instrument to stir it with, I'd use that. And then, because it's harder to mix in than the sauces, a little bit more pepper. Yes, this is a spicy meal. Lots of seasoning, but that keeps it a little bit interesting when you're eating the same thing every day. Having a little bit of spice spices life up. So that's my food. It's quite nice. So now you know how to make it for the most part. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, cool. I'm going to try and get my motivation back and then make more videos. Alright? Bye bye.